Elias always stood apart from the crowd, though not in the way he wanted. Among colleagues and friends, he was known for his relentless drive, an early riser, a late sleeper, checking boxes with a speed few could match. On the outside, his life was a picture of accomplishment, promotions at work, a bustling social calendar, even a steady stream of likes and comments on each of his carefully crafted posts. Yet it was all painted onto a hollow core. When night came and the noise retreated, Elias would lie awake, scrolling endlessly through his feed, searching for something to fill the silent ache within. Each goal achieved brought a fleeting sense of triumph, but happiness seemed to slip further from his grasp with every step, like chasing a shadow at sunset. He'd become a master at running, or so he thought, but he ran without a destination, a seeker unaware of what he truly sought. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon when change whispered its possibility. Elias's hand, shuffling through a heap of bills and reminders accumulated on his desk, landed on a small book. Its cover was faded, a scattering of Japanese characters and an English title, Beginner's Mind, Zen for Ordinary Life. He remembered now, this was left by Adrian, an old friend whose serene, steady nature had always made Elias slightly envious and slightly suspicious. Something in him, bored by his usual distractions, cracked open the book. The opening words settled onto him with an unexpected gentleness. The simplicity of life lies in the ability to live it, moment by moment. He read the line again, half scoffing, but found himself turning the page. As he read, the book did not shout instructions from the mountaintop. Rather, it whispered to be still, to pay attention, to shed the endless parade of worries about the past and projections into the future. It suggested a calmness that Elias had always believed was reserved for monks and mystics, not for men like him, tangled in the grind of daily life. Driven by a new, tentative curiosity, Elias tried to follow the simplest of the Zen practices. That weekend, he left behind the city's blaring horns and the glowing notifications, choosing to drive out to a nearby lake he'd ignored for years. As the sun dropped below the trees, brushing the water with gold, Elias sat at the shore. He didn't try to achieve anything. He simply closed his eyes, listening to the instructions. Focus on your breath, on all the small sounds at the edge of your awareness. At first, his mind fought back, listing tasks undone, swirling with conversations replayed and imagined futures. But soon, the noise faded. In its place bloomed a silence that wasn't empty, but alive. He felt the air on his arms, the precise edges of his inhalations and exhalations, the way each moment shimmered and passed of its own accord. He realized, startled, that for the first time in years, he was neither yearning nor avoiding. He was simply present. From that point onward, the philosophy of Zen became a daily anchor. Life's pace continued, but he began to notice what he'd ignored. The scent of coffee rising with dawn, birds calling across power lines, the stillness between his thoughts. He found these moments, a kind of living poetry, brought more peace than any of his long-sought trophies. But tranquility, he discovered, is no vaccine against turmoil. Suffering soon returned, a turbulent month where a close friendship fractured in betrayal, a long-prepared project failed publicly, and words were exchanged in anger with a loved one. Anxiety boiled up inside him, threatening to drown what calm he'd managed to cultivate. In those moments, sitting quietly and breathing, felt powerless against the weight of relentless questions. What should I do now? How should I respond to chaos, not just survive it? Once again, an answer arrived in an unexpected place. Browsing a second-hand store, Elias spotted a battered copy of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. He bought it on a whim, and that evening began to read. If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. It was the missing piece. Where Zen offered a way to meet the moment without judgment, Stoicism provided Elias with a method to engage with it, to see what was within his control, and to let go gracefully of what was not. When anger surged or disappointment stung, he practiced pausing, questioning his reflexes and reframing his setbacks. What part of this belongs to me? What can I learn here? Night after night, as he jotted his reflections into a notebook, the harmony between these philosophies began to shape his life. Zen taught him to greet each instant without resistance. Stoicism showed him how to stand tall, to act rightly even when the world was fraying around him. Zen's stillness became a foundation. Stoicism's resolve became his framework for movement. Several months later, Elias returned to the lake, the same spot where he first sat, restless and searching. The water was calm, a gentle breeze whispering through the reeds. He closed his eyes, letting thought and sensation come and go. Anxiety was still there, as was hope and sadness, but they felt less like threats and more like passing clouds. When he opened his eyes again, a quiet strength filled his chest. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The words came to him, not as a recitation, but as a truth finally understood. In Zen, Elias learned to yield. In Stoicism, he learned to persist. Life had not become simpler, but he met its complexity with new grace, embracing joy and pain, presence and purpose, surrender and strength. The scene fades with Elias rising, gazing over the shimmering surface of the lake, unresolved but no longer lost. We are all seekers, wandering a noisy world. Like Elias, we long for meaning and resilience. Through the wisdom of Zen and Stoicism, we find not escape, but a way to live with clarity and heart. Are you ready to begin your journey? The path is waiting.